I'm 91, take no meds, and still drive. These 5 daily habits changed my body and mind forever. What if aging isn't what we think it is? What if the aches, the forgetfulness, the loneliness, they're not inevitable, but signals, warnings from a body that's been unheard for too long? I'm 91, I still remember people's names. I still climb stairs. I still feel excited when I wake up. Not because I'm special, but because I listened. Most people think good health after 70 is pure luck or perfect genes. I believed that once, too, until I watched my friends decline, not because they were old, but because they stopped living with intention. They gave up small habits that mattered. They let the days blur together. They waited for the worst. But aging doesn't have to be a countdown. It can be a comeback. In this video, I'll share the 5 simple habits that kept me clear-headed, mobile, and emotionally alive, all without expensive treatments or extreme routines. They're not magic. They're choices, repeated, quietly, every day. If you're ready to stop surviving and start thriving in your later years, stay with me. And if something here resonates with you, go ahead and hit subscribe. Let's grow stronger together. Part 1, Morning Light, the forgotten switch to longevity. When I first retired, I thought I could sleep in and let the day ease in. But instead of feeling rested, I woke up groggy, moody, and strangely disconnected. I later learned why I was missing something my body desperately needed: morning light. As I mentioned earlier, the body doesn't respond well to neglect, even the subtle kind. What feels like harmless habits, checking our phones in the dark, staying indoors all morning, can slowly chip away at our biology. Scientists now confirm what I felt in my bones. Natural morning light is not just pleasant, it's essential. It resets the circadian rhythm, the body's internal clock that regulates sleep, hormone balance, digestion, energy, and even immune function. Studies from the University of Colorado show that people exposed to natural light within an hour of waking have better sleep patterns, lower cortisol levels throughout the day, and improved mood. And for seniors like us, the benefits multiply. Aging tends to disrupt sleep cycles, but morning sunlight helps retrain the body to sleep more deeply and wake up more refreshed. That's why I made it a ritual, not a task. A ritual, rain or shine, winter or summer. I walk to my balcony and greet the light. I don't check the news. I don't start the coffee. Not even tea. Just me, the morning air, and the light on my face. Here's what I've noticed since I started this habit over 30 years ago. My sleep improved dramatically. I fall asleep faster and wake up naturally. I feel emotionally steadier, less irritated, more resilient. My memory got sharper. I started recalling names and details better. My body feels in sync with the day, not behind it. Even cloudy days make a difference because it's not about brightness, but exposure. The eyes still absorb enough ambient light to tell the brain, we're awake. Let's begin. If you've been waking up sluggish or starting your day with a heavy mind, try this. Go outside or open a window within 30 minutes of waking. Stay in natural light for at least 10 minutes. Breathe deeply and stay present. Let your senses wake up with you. This simple, free habit reconnected me with the rhythm of life. And from that foundation, I could begin building more strength. Because once your body's aligned with time, you'll find more energy. And when energy flows, movement becomes possible. And that is where we'll go next. Part 2, tea before talk, the ritual that grounds the day. After I began stepping into the morning light each day, something unexpected happened. I started craving quiet, not silence from the world, but stillness within myself. That's when the ritual of tea entered my life. I used to begin my mornings, like many people, with noise. The news blaring, coffee brewing, thoughts racing. My body was awake, but my spirit was already anxious. It felt like the day controlled me, not the other way around. But one winter morning, after my sun ritual, I sat down with a simple cup of hot herbal tea. No phone, no TV, just steam rising, breath slowing, heart calming. That was the first time I felt present in years. Here's what I learned and what science now supports. Herbal teas like ginger, mint, or chamomile support digestion and circulation. Warm fluids in the morning help hydrate the body after 7 to 8 hours of fasting. The act of holding a warm cup triggers a calming response in the brain. A study in the Journal of Psychopharmacology found that drinking tea regularly improves mental clarity and reduces stress hormones. But beyond the physical benefits, this became my anchor, a tiny ceremony that reminded me I have power over how my day begins. I don't have to rush. I don't have to chase. I can begin softly but strongly, and this simple habit also protected me from something more dangerous than fatigue reactivity. When you start your day with chaos, your mind stays in defense mode. But when you begin with calm, you make better choices. Since adopting this tea ritual, I've noticed I digest food better, especially breakfast. My blood pressure stays more stable throughout the day. I feel less reactive in stressful situations. My mornings feel intentional, not automatic. It doesn't matter what kind of tea you choose. What matters is creating a moment to reconnect with your breath, your body, and your intentions for the day. Here's how to begin. Pick a natural herb you enjoy: ginger, mint, lemon balm, anything soothing. Boil water and pour slowly, watching the leaves or the steam. Sit down, hold the cup with both hands, and breathe in the aroma. Sip slowly, without distraction. And let that be your quiet welcome to the day. When I began pairing this habit with morning light, something shifted inside me. It felt like I was claiming ownership of my life again, not reacting to it, but shaping it. And once you start the day in peace, you naturally want to stay in that state. That's where the next habit comes in, a way to train your brain to stay sharp, curious, and alive for decades to come. Part 3: Mental Fitness, the habit that keeps you independent. By the time I turned 75, something small but frightening started happening. I would walk into a room and forget why. I'd search for a word that used to come easily. At first, I laughed it off. Just old age, I told myself. But inside, I was scared because I saw what came next. I had friends who started like that and ended up needing help with even the simplest tasks. That fear pushed me to take action. I'd already claimed back my mornings with sunlight and tea. Now I had to do the same for my mind. Because what good is a healthy body if your thoughts are slipping away? So I began treating my brain like a muscle, not with puzzles or fancy apps, but with daily mental movement. And that changed everything. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that mentally active seniors have a 30–50% lower risk of cognitive decline. And it's not about solving crosswords all day. It's about challenging your mind in different, simple ways. Learn something new every day, even if it's just a word or a fact. Recall stories from your past in detail. It keeps memory networks alive. Do basic math in your head. It strengthens focus and sequencing. Try activities that stretch your thinking: organizing, planning, making decisions. Engage in conversation, especially with younger people or those who challenge your perspective. Since I started this routine, I've noticed real change. I remember names more easily. I make decisions without hesitation. I stay more engaged in conversations. I feel confident managing my own affairs. And the most beautiful part, the more I challenged my mind, the more alive I felt. The fog lifted. My thoughts sharpened. I began to feel capable again, and that gave me back my independence. Because here's the hard truth: if we don't use our minds, they weaken. And when that happens, we begin to lose not just memory, but dignity, choice, freedom. So if you've noticed yourself feeling slower, don't accept it as fate. Your brain isn't gone, it's just underused. Wake it up. Start today. Read something outside your usual interests. Write a short reflection about your childhood. Memorize a short poem. Ask a grandchild to teach you how to use a new app. What matters is consistency. Just like the body, the mind thrives on gentle, daily effort. And once your mind is awake and your mornings are calm, the next question becomes, how do you keep your body strong enough to follow your mind's lead? That's where we're headed next. Part 4: Movement is Medicine. the habit that reversed my pain. By the time I reached my late 70s, my brain felt sharper thanks to my morning rituals and mental training, but my body, it started to betray me. My knees cracked, my back ached. I got winded climbing 3 steps. At first, I blamed age. I thought slowing down was normal, but then I noticed something: the less I moved, the worse I felt. I wasn't just losing flexibility, I was losing confidence. So I asked myself, what if the pain wasn't a sign to stop, but a call to move? That question led me to one of the most powerful lessons of aging: movement is not optional. It's not a luxury. It's the lifeline that keeps your independence intact. The CDC reports that regular physical activity reduces the risk of heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, depression, and even certain cancers, especially in adults over 65. And yet, so many seniors are told the opposite. Take it easy. You're too old to exercise. Rest is better at your age. Those words, they hurt more than arthritis. What truly saved me was discovering gentle movement, senior Pilates, beginner yoga, short walks, even stretching in my living room. At first it was hard. My joints protested. I felt clumsy. But little by little, my body responded. Here's what consistent movement gave me: greater balance, reducing my risk of falls, less joint pain and muscle stiffness, better sleep and digestion, more energy to participate in life, not just observe it. And perhaps most surprising of all, moving brought me closer to others. In my Pilates class, I met people who, like me, didn't want to fade into the background. We encouraged each other. We laughed. We healed together. Because physical strength isn't just about muscles, it's about dignity. It's the ability to carry your own groceries, reach a shelf, or take a walk without fear. Those little freedoms mean everything. If you've stopped moving because you're afraid to hurt yourself, consider this: doing nothing is what's hurting you. Start gently. A 10-minute walk around the block, chair yoga or stretching with music, dancing alone in your living room, joining a local senior movement class. Even if you just watch at first, movement connects us back to life. It reminds us that we're not done yet, that we still belong, that we're still capable. And when your body starts flowing again, something else awakens: your inner stillness, the kind that isn't about the muscles, but about the mind. And that's the next habit we'll explore. Part 5, the morning mind ritual, the stillness that shifted everything. After I reclaimed my body through gentle movement, I noticed something surprising. Even with a sharper mind and stronger body, I still had days where I felt unsettled, anxious, distracted. It was as if my body and brain were ready, but my spirit was still catching up. That's when I stumbled across a practice I never expected to embrace: intentional stillness. Not silence forced by boredom or loneliness, but deliberate mental space to align how I wanted to feel, think, and act for the day ahead. This became my 5th habit, a quiet morning ritual that helps me organize my inner world before I face the outer one. And science now confirms what I felt intuitively. Neuroscientists have discovered that early morning brainwave patterns, particularly in the theta range, 48 hertz, are uniquely open to learning, healing, and emotional resetting. By using sound, breath, and focused thought, you can activate this brain state and literally change the way your mind responds to stress, decision-making, and even relationships. Every morning, before breakfast, before tea, before even talking, I sit quietly for 7 minutes. I put on calming theta frequency audio and focus on 3 intentions. What do I want to feel today? Peace, strength, joy. What do I want to let go of? Resentment, fear, distraction. What do I want to welcome in? Clarity, opportunity, connection. It sounds simple, but the effects have been profound. My blood pressure stabilized. My emotional reactivity dropped. I made clearer choices, especially under stress. My sense of purpose deepened. A 2020 study published in Frontiers in Human Neuroscience showed that intentional theta state meditation improves cognitive flexibility, emotional regulation, and overall mental resilience, especially in aging adults. What surprised me most wasn't just the calm I gained, but how that calm spilled into everything else. I started responding, not reacting, listening more, judging less. My relationships grew deeper. My financial decisions became sharper. My daily life began to feel more meaningful. This ritual costs nothing, requires no experience, and takes less than 10 minutes. But it acts like a tuning fork for your mind, clearing the noise so you can hear what matters. If you're new to this, try it for 5 minutes tomorrow. Find a quiet space where you won't be interrupted. Put on soft theta music available free online. Breathe slowly. Focus on one thought. How do I want to live today? Stay with that feeling and let your mind rest in it. This habit doesn't replace your brain training or movement, it enhances them. It's the thread that ties them together. Because once your body is strong, your mind is sharp, and your spirit is grounded, you begin to live not in reaction to life, but in relationship with it. That is what real health feels like. And from that place of calm, you'll be ready for the final and most important truth of all, how to begin small and stay steady. So the life you want doesn't fade, but flourishes. After 91 years of life and decades of trial, error, and discovery, I've come to believe one simple truth. It's not the big changes that save us. It's the small, quiet choices we make every single day. You don't need to do everything at once. You don't need to become a tea master, a yogi, or a meditation expert. What you need is a beginning. Because real transformation doesn't come from pressure, it comes from consistency. You might start with just one thing. Open your window to the morning light. Make a cup of tea before turning on the TV. Write down a memory before breakfast. Stretch your legs while the kettle boils. Sit in the stillness for 5 minutes before checking your phone. These acts might seem too small to matter, but they're not. They are seeds. And seeds, when nurtured daily, become roots. Roots that anchor you. Habits that carry you. A life that feels full, not in noise or speed, but in presence and purpose. I'm not here to sell you a miracle. I'm just someone who's walked this path, felt the losses, made the changes, and found something better on the other side. So if this message touched you, if even one part of it felt true, leave a comment. Tell me where you want to begin. And if you want more content like this, click subscribe. This journey of strength, clarity, and purpose doesn't end here. It begins now with one small, steady step.